Some people on Amazon said the instructions for putting this composter together was difficult, so I thought I'd give a quick instructional video. You'll need only 2 tools to put it together. You'll want to have a screwdriver and a crescent wrench. The screwdriver, by the way, should have a square end to it. You can use a regular slotted one, but the square-ended one has some real advantages, so you might want to consider purchasing a bit if you don't already have one, but not critical, as I said. The crescent wrench you'll only need for putting together the stand. The rest of it can be done just with the screwdriver and your fingers. First, just put together the stand. The only critical thing to know about is that the longest sides have to go down on the bottom. So when you're putting those pieces together, just make sure that they're the long ones are down at the base, and you can go ahead and tighten up the screws because they won't need to be adjusted later. When you start putting together the main part of the contraption, they explain that there's one side on these round pieces that's different, that has more holes in it. And that part really is critical. You need to make sure that the one that has the most holes is up here at the top. Whoop, that's not even the top. Here we go. The reason for that is because that's the one that is going to be used for this door, and that needs to be the last piece to go in. The instructions were really strange because they referred to panels 1 through 8, but they don't number them that way in real life. I had 2 panels numbered 1, 2 of number 2, 2 of number 3, and 2 of number 4. Well, one would think that the last one that has to go in would be number 8, but it's actually labeled number 2. So ignore all of the numbering in the instructions. All the panels are identical except for the door, and you know that that's the one that goes on last. That's the one that's going to go into the panel that has more holes going along in here. This is my partially completed composter, and I want to show the trick to getting the panels in so that they fit correctly. These small squares right here are actually very important. They match up with these little plus-shaped knobs that need to fit into them. So what you need to do is slide those in first. Let me see if this can show it. And then let the panel drop down, and then put in the screws. If you don't get those things right, pretty soon you'll find that something is a little wonky and you'll have to do it over again. What is helpful about putting this composter together is having the end in mind before you start. These particular unique endings that have more holes in them need to be on the top per their instructions. And the way they number the panels, at least with my set, it was not correct. The one that needs to go in this particular set is the door. That's the unique one that is going to fit into these holes. Now, to get this last panel in, I've already positioned all of the other ones. First, I'm going to just slide, it's hard to do with one hand, slide the bottom part in, and now, dropping the top part over, I need to get the little pegs in these holes right here. There's one on each side, and so I need to sort of twist it just a smidge to get that to fit. There's one right here also. I'm going to twist it to get it to fit. And so now what I'll do is I'll go ahead and tighten up these top ones down the side, and at the end I'll finish off at the bottom.
Together, so it doesn't really come very assembled, and you're going to put each one of these screws in. So be ready, and you better have a screwdriver, or they do provide some little little wrenches with. So okay, so I am reviewing the dual chamber Tumbling Composter. And I really, first, well, actually, I am reviewing the dual chamber tumbling compost bin. And I'm actually really excited because I bought this about a month ago and I've been a little bit slow at getting it together, which I'll start with that. All of these screws you're going to put in yourself. So as you can imagine, none of it being kind of pre-put together, you have a lot of screws. And if you do get a instruction book, I guess you'll be lucky, because I did not, but I did read online that the instructions are not very good. So what I found is they have some really good YouTube videos with instructions and how to put these together, which I did use. I also believe that the product does have a couple of videos on the composter, so check those out as well. But if not, the YouTube videos are pretty handy. So I do like that it's a double chamber. You've got your plus, you know, you're adding to the compost, and then you have your clock, which is, you know, the time ticking. This is the one that you're kind of letting go to turn into compost once it's, you know, kind of full. So I want to show you that there is a divider in there. I know a couple people said that they wish that it was a little bit bigger inside, which I mean, again, this is up to pretty much my my armpit when I put my arm in there. But I do have, it's either the 36 or 37 gallon, whichever one it is. It is, I think, pretty large on the inside of each. And I like the fact that it's a dual chamber, so you can have one that you're going on to turn into compost and the one that you're still adding to. I think even buying another one of these if you wanted to, and you could just take out the divider and have two going instead of the double chamber, which would make you be able to do a lot more compost if you have it in large quantities to add. I also love the fact that it's really easy to maneuver the spin. So every 2 to 3 days, you're supposed to give it a good 5 to 6 spins, and they have all these little handles on it, which make it super easy to kind of, you know, maneuver. I also like the fact that it rolls and tumbles really easily. And I would imagine it's really sturdy, which means that when that weight gets in there, it's just going to be even more sturdy and able to kind of spin that and tumble it. Each side has one of these dials that you can move and works as holes for getting air in and doing some like aerating on that, and a nice metal frame. So yeah, I'm super excited. I can't wait. I'm going to be taking this outside and filling it up, or starting to fill up this side and see how it goes. So let's get to composting.
Instructions. Pieces. Instruction. Not all that clear, but like the ones Bob the Builder types are gonna get it. For ones who don't get it, start with every other panel until until you end up back right here. Fully take out this so you can fill in the screws. Makes it easier on you. Then slide it back in. First complaint, I can see a lot of holes. We got 2 vents to the sides. That's what they're there for, but what are the extra holes for? If y'all have a balcony, veranda, whatever you want to call it, porch, don't put it out there unless you're going to put a bucket underneath this thing, because it seems like it's going to leak a lot. Anyway, far away from the house because it might just attract pests. Next thing, screws. I don't know if it's too big. Seem like they're the right size. Just maybe need to get the proper nut. It won't go further than it needs to. So it's right now unstable. The middle section, when y'all installing it, ensure that you put it in the groove. Yeah, mine came a little bent, so I had to use a little heat to flatten it out. That was not good. That didn't make no sense to me. Yeah, that's mostly about it. Doesn't seem like it's worth so much money though, but yeah, it seems like a decent thing. Doesn't have things inside yet. We'll give you guys an update to let you know how it goes.
Okay, let me show you why I don't like this tumbler. So
you open it, right, to get your compost out, this is what happens. You can't get past here, right? So you close it, put it all the way down here. So this at the bottom, provided you don't have too much compost in here because it will get crazy heavy. And then you open it and some will come out, okay? But this process has to be repeated multiple times. And it's messy, and it's dirty, and it's not fun. I'm going to show you the compost. This has been going for almost a year. It doesn't work very well. I'm not pleased with it at all. It is in full sun. It gets turned. I've had much better results just composting in an open barrel. So I would think twice before ordering this particular product. It isn't very expensive, but it doesn't matter how cheap it is if it doesn't work. This is all the compost I got out of it. It's raining now, so, but this is all the compost I got out of it for a whole year.
So I'm switching over to this great composter made by our wonderful neighbors to the north in Canada. It's a wonderful composter. It took me just a few minutes this afternoon to put it together. It's made of really high-grade materials. This plastic is all plastic made from other materials, which I was pretty excited about. Here's the side of the unit that's going to be for compost that's cooking, and this is compost that's ready to go. So as you can see, I'm pretty excited to have it, and my garden is just nearby, and it will be the beneficiary of all this wonderful compost. So I'd give this a 10 out of 10, and thanks to our Canadian neighbors to the north for all their hard work that they've put into this wonderful product. We'll be really appreciating it and using it, and looking forward to returning the favor, Canada. Hopefully we'll get all this tariff nonsense cared for soon, and we can all just put it all behind us.